Peebles now make their way onto the pitch for this final, and it is a final that is certainly maybe partially been able to predict. Peebles were one of the favourites going into this tournament, currently sitting joint top with Jed Thistle. Their opponent, Selkirk Youth Club, after defeating Melrose and Jed, find themselves in the final. Peebles managed to get their way past Hoyt Youth and then a convincing win against Kelso. Peebles Colts, they've got Callum McRobert, Ben Martin, Kieran Ross, Miles McLaughlin, Innes Cormack, Callum Burnett Godfrey, Mason Brown, Sam Wardlaw, Dylan Greens, Chris Thompson, Louis White and Ewan Miller. In their squad with Selkirk Youth Club have Elliot Hastie, Cammy Forster, Ryan Tour, Oliver McClyman, Thomas Elliott, Archie Morris, Robbie McDonald, Fraser Kelly, Charlie Lyle, Sean Halbert, Sam Finlater and Kyle Pearson. Your match official for this is Andrew Skeen. Certainly no better Sevens expertise casting their eye over this battle between these two sides. It's been kicked downfield into the hands of Mason Brown, who slips on the field but manages to give the ball to Chris Thompson, and then he looks to pin his ears back and slaloms his run towards that halfway line. Then he looks to deploy Louis White, and he has got some company there, and Fraser Kelly gets defended, offload back to Chris Thompson, but he's just fumbled the ball with a try line beckoning. Now Selkirk Youth Club look to try and break free from inside their own 22 metre line. It was the player that got back, Fraser Kelly breaking free, but Callum Burnett Godfrey gets back and bundles the Selkirk attack out of the field of play, and it's been a breathless start.
It certainly has, and both sets of players are absolutely pumped, no doubt about that. They're really flying into challenges, and yeah, good breakout of defence there. Good defence in the first instance by Selkirk, but good breakout there by Fraser Kelly.
It's been gathered there at the back. The bubbling ball has been gathered by McRobert, and he has got open prairie in behind, and it's going to be first blood to Peebles. It was almost well contested by Youth Club at the front, but the bubbling ball just waited, and almost by chance and by luck it just opened up for McRoberts, and he goes in for the first try.
Yeah, another tall rangy player in the Peebles ranks. A great burst of pace there. He went in from around 50 metres, and the only surprise about that is that that's his first of the night.
The rangy second row, back row, the normal 15s action. He's got a bit of pace about him. So it's going to be Peebles, full complement of 7 points. Thompson adding the extras. He kicks off, stabs it into a wind which is starting to die somewhat here at the Green Yards. Pirouette out of the challenge, gives it to Thomas Elliott, then into the hands of Archie Morris, who goes over his own 22 metre line. McClyman is having to deploy himself into the ruck to try and clear the danger. Selkirk Youth Club try and stretch the width here. Now giving it to one of the flyers, Fraser Kelly. Looks to try and break free. Great counter ruck coming on from Peebles as well. Chris Thompson looks to try and get his arms free to get the ball back. It's been good defence there from Elliot Hastie, but eventually Thompson is able to squirm out of trouble. Little dancing field, centre field running there from Peebles. Burnett Godfrey manages to find Innes Cormack. Then McRobert again angles his run centre field out the back door. The ball spilled into the path of Mason Brown. He checks his run, goes one way, then the other, then Louis Wright links up with Chris Thompson. He just goes forward, then looks to go the attritional route. Pirouette's out of trouble the first time, looks to get the offload in, but in the road was a couple of Selkirk Youth Club players. Mason Brown waits there, takes it down at a slower pace, then Louis White puts on the afterburners in between the two Selkirk defenders to get an additional score for Peebles, and it's 12 points to 0. As Chris Thompson just waits to get play back underway, kicks it into a strong wind. It's hanging in its weight, and Louis White gets a hand on that ball, but it's just not able to flap it back enough. So waiting there is Cammy Forster to deploy the ball into the hands of Oliver McClyman. He floats the ball further wide to Ryan Tour, who's got to reach to try and grab the ball. Now Kelly dances back in field, but is then tackled centre field by the covering Peebles defence, and it was Mason Brown getting back for Peebles there. Scooped away from the breakdown by Selkirk Youth Club, but a little knock on coming in there from Thomas Elliott, who'll be disappointed with himself. But again, Selkirk Youth Club showing in a small window there, a small window of opportunity that they can attack from deep and cause problems to this Peebles side. Mason Brown He's been tackled well by McClimont, but then ghosting out of traffic there is Innes Cormac. Makes his way up towards the 10-metre line. Good defensive play there from Thomas Elliott on the deck, who was quick to jackal over that ball and gives it back to Selkirk. And now McClimont dancing away from trouble. Gives it to a teammate who makes it towards the 10-metre line, Archie Morris. It's his opportunity to dine in the rubber pellets in the Melrose surface. McClimont now back in field, puts the brakes on and then manages to change his angle well, bounces out of the challenge because he just put a big mitt into the hands, into the face and the chest of Bernard Godfrey to do anything to try and get free of the Peebles powerhouse. And now Peebles have a chance to try and streak down the touchline. They've got the turnover ball and it's Miles McLaughlin to extend the Peebles lead here. And just when Selkirk look to get their tails up, Peebles extinguish any embers of opportunity there for Youth Club. Get the ball wide and get put on the afterburners. Thompson gets play back underway. There's still time for young McLaughlin to add to his tally. The bubbling ball has ended up in the hands of Selkirk Youth Club, and it has been a very impressive first half showing from the Peebles Colts, who currently lead Selkirk Youth Club 21 points to 0. Peebles get play back underway now. Thompson looks to try and go short and make it something that they can compete against, but it's been well gathered by Selkirk Youth Club. They get quickly to that breakdown as well. Archie Morris is the player to disperse the ball to Elliott. The bouncing ball does end up in the hands of Tour, who offloads to McClimont. Now McClimont straightens up his line. He's managed to orchestrate a bit of room for his teammates. It's been palmed over the head, but it's been well gathered. Good link-up play. Now charging forward is McDonald, who does well to stay in. He looked to try and keep the ball alive as well, but the assistant referee on that touchline side adjacent to the stand has signalled that he just encroached on that whitewash and gives territory and possession back to Peebles.
Back to Peebles, yeah. You know, this reminds me, Dale, a wee bit, or this tournament reminds me a wee bit of the qualification tournament on the Friday afternoon last year, where there was just one team, that being Durham University, who just were a cut above the others, and they've had it pretty easy, to be honest.
Thompson angles his run towards the heart of that Selkirk defence, also gesturing with his free hands where he wants his teammates to go. Great offloading out of the tackle from this Peebles side. It's been given to Thompson. He manages to get the ball and he releases his teammate Innes Cormac, but the referee Andrew Skeen has signalled that there's been a forward pass in there, and it is very difficult to disagree with him. Oliver McClimont passes back towards the 10-metre line, then the ball goes centre field. Selkirk look to try and angle something and orchestrate something. It's Archie Morris offloading out of the challenge. There is Thomas Elliott as well. Good play over the ball there from Peebles. They managed to win the penalty. Chris Thompson is going to go quick, passes it to a teammate. It looks like it is Mason Brown now travelling with the ball in hand. He gives it to Dylan Greens. He looks to try and just brush free from McDonald, who is just grasping onto that red and white hoop shirt of the Peebles Colts. Thompson, centre field, absolute key component in this Peebles side. Gives it to McLaughlin, and Miles McLaughlin is on the outside. McClimont is chasing back into the corner, but eventually does dot it down, and just because Oliver McClimont was ragdolling McLaughlin. So Thompson, who gets play back underway, kicks it into this darkening Melrose sky. The ball just trundles down the torso of the Selkirk players and gifts it towards Peebles. There's a 2-on-1, ball passed back inside. Oliver McClimont still defending with all his might and effort. He looked like he perhaps got the skull of the Peebles player on the whitewash, but they go over the try line. Then there's a bit of afters there as well with I'll say afters. Oliver McClimont was gesturing towards the assistant referee. The try eventually did go for Kieran Ross, who got the try for Peebles. But I do think Oliver McClimont does have a point. I think Peebles were in touch. Yeah,
it looked on our screen, Dale, it looked like he was in touch. Still having a bit of a remonstration with Andrew Skeen, but it'll matter not, because Chris Thompson is about to line up the conversion.
Thompson out wide, conversion attempt. It kisses the post protector, but it probably never got that much higher than it on its journey towards hitting it slap bang in the centre. Currently Peebles 31, Selkirk Youth Club 0. A little chip over the top has been well gathered by the most recent try scorer Kieran Ross. and filters the ball to Ewan Miller, who's waiting in the touchline, and he's put on the afterburners as well, and he is on the outside. He's been heard all the way by Sam Finlater, but Peebles going for another try, and it is one-way traffic. Archie Morris is brought to ground. The ball is juggled there by Cammy Forster. He manages to get the ball into the hands of Charlie Lyle. He offloads well to Sam Finlater. He just kicks it back towards his own area. But it is Peebles who are the victors here in the Jim Telfer Cup. 36 points to 0. They defeat Selkirk, and they managed to pick up their second trophy in the Kings of the Sevens for the under-18s after their victory against Jed at Gala. Defeated at their own tournament against Jed, but it's now 2 wins from 3 tournaments for this Peebles side, and they get their name on the Jim Telfer Cup for the first time. And it's Peebles who are the victors here, defeating Selkirk Youth Club by 36 points to 0.
Boys throughout the week really putting themselves forward for training, and it was a good battle to see everyone back at training and really putting the graft in during the week to get the result on the weekend, so it was good.
Yeah, and not only the trophy tonight, valuable Kings of the Sevens points as well.
Indeed, yeah. Finished 15th season top of the league, but that doesn't mean we're not going to go after the Sevens as well, and I think we made that pretty clear tonight, so that was our goal.
And I believe you're back here tomorrow with a couple of the boys, Chris Thompson and Miles McLaughlin.
Yeah, we are. That'll be a slight different change of scene, but should be fun. Good day.
And will that be your first venture into senior rugby, or?
No, I've played a couple for the 15s game. I've played 3 this season, but first Sevens outing for the first team. Yeah. Right.
Well, yeah. If anything, if tonight's anything to go by, then look out, Gala. All the very best for tomorrow, and thanks for joining us up here tonight.
Thank you very much.